Hey guys, welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the DeeTimeLove show. And today we have a very interesting video. We've got a brand new release that featured at my recent watch show, Time London. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the Venezianico Redentore Bellanotte 1221575, which retails around €700. Plus, if you want to get it on the bracelet, it's an additional €85. And first of all, I would like to congratulate Venezianico for all the success of late, winning Watch of the Year with the Redentore Ultra Black, and the development of the rest of the range, as you can see here below, the Nerade, the different color dials, the GMTs. And I'm a big advocate of Venezianico. I really love their dials and how they've evolved over the last 2 years. Now, there's no doubt that Venezianico are heading in the right direction, but is this Redentore a hit? Well, first impressions at Time London, it was very much a hit. Now, this is initially a dress watch, no doubt, and you could say dress watches are not necessarily the in thing when it comes to watches. However, and I said this, however, all levels of watch enthusiasts, and I mean all levels, at all different price points, acknowledged it was a stunning, elegant watch. It also looks very complicated, they said. Is it a high horology complication? Now, yes, it has a very complicated dial, and yes, it looks very expensive. This is one party trick that Venezianico are doing with their watches. A lot has to do with the off-center dial, which is normally reserved for very high-end luxury watches. It really does add that sophistication. Look at that mother-of-pearl dial to imitate the moon, delicately framed by a polished steel ring. The layout separates the mother of pearl from the rest of the design, which depicts the St. Mark's Square during the enchanting Redentore night. So basically, it's like they're replicating a bit of Venice on the dial, and it is very, very cool indeed. Now guys, before I give you my overall first impressions and talk about my likes and dislikes in regards to this watch, let's go through the specification and discuss the watch in a little bit more detail. Let's change perspective and take a closer look at the specifications of this particular timepiece. Now, the case diameter of this timepiece is 40 millimeters. Now, if you look at the case thickness, you're looking at 11.5 millimeters. Now, lug to lug, you're looking at 46.7 millimeters. And looking at the dial, look at it, wow. I mean, what is there not to like? Now, I would say this watch is not going to be for everybody, but you have to acknowledge this is a very complicated dial with 4 different layers. And you can see the offset dial there, and it's finished in mother of pearl, and it's got a surround in stainless steel to separate it from the rest of the background of the dial, and it's got Aventurina finishing at the back. Look at that sparkle of the sky, and the offset dial, that mother of pearl, is to really highlight the actual moon as well. This is giving you a taste of Venice in the dial. Very elegant, very sophisticated, but let's not go in too much depth yet in regards to this timepiece before I give you my final impression. Now, the finishing on the case, as you can see in there, is a satin finish with some slight beveling there as well. Very elegant, very thinned out, small lug to lug of 46.7 millimeters, which is very nice indeed, and it's relatively thin at 11.5 millimeters. So very, you could say very, very much a dress orientated piece at 40 millimeters. You know, it has a case diameter with that 46.7 millimeter lug to lug. It does wear very nice, and it's on this sort of dark navy blue leather calf. Very cool indeed, and I will give you some shots of this watch in natural sunlight. Now, how is all this possible with the dial and the configuration? Well, let's turn this over and you can see the taste of Venice at the back in regards to what this watch is inspired by. But this watch hosts a Seiko NH05A movement, small automatic movement for that offset on that side. Very cool dial, and my oh my, what can I say, it is a very elegant, sophisticated, classy timepiece that you would associate at much higher price points. They've really gone to town. And one thing I did notice is that onion crown as well. If you can see the onion crown there, there's an onion crown, and the actual lugs have been smoothened out and less prominent as well, giving it more of an elegant, smooth finish. Very beautifully done. Lots of different finishing and that engraving at the back. Very, very cool indeed, I have to say. First impressions. Well, where do I start with this timepiece? I was wearing this watch during Time London for part of the show, and many people grabbed my wrist to see what I was wearing, so it was very much a conversational timepiece. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and this watch is going to be made in limited batches. So I would, if you're interested, make sure you pre-order now, because I don't think they're going to make many of these watches. I might be wrong, but it is very complicated for what it is. And the dial itself is a 4-layered construction dial with that mother of pearl, the Aventurina background, the firework display. And then what you can see, what this watch is inspired by is St. Mark's Square. So they're trying to bring it life at night. It's bringing you St. Mark's Square at night, and you can see the moon, you know, the architecture, but they've done it in such a way which is very elegant due to the case size of 40 millimeters, 11.5 case thickness, lug to lug you're looking at 46.7 millimeters. But the onion crown and the way they sort of smoothed and sculptured those crown guards just makes it look very elegant, and it wears on the wrist very well indeed. Now, first impressions for me is that they've achieved their goal in terms of making it look far more expensive. People thought I was wearing a high-end luxury independent Swiss brand, which is always good news at this price. If I was being overly critical, and this is really for someone who's in the know, when you wind the movement, and the movement is offset, it's got micro sort of automatic movement offset to give you that luxury sophistication that you normally only get in more higher end luxury dress watches. The only problem is there is a date wheel function, and you do notice it when you're messing around to adjust the time. That's the only negative, but to be honest, at this price point, you can forgive them for not altering and modifying that. But the overall experience is very good. Is it a silky smooth Swiss movement? No. But is it a robust, reliable movement from Seiko? Yes, very much indeed. You can rely on it to keep on ticking for many, many years. And that's how they keep the cost down. They source parts that will fit the design and the aesthetic look of this timepiece. So overall, I would say Venezianico have continued the success of the Redentore, and this dial for me will be a hit. And it may make people think that when they are looking at luxury dress watches and thinking, well, those watches are out of reach, I can get a very sophisticated, elegant looking dial for a price that won't break the bank. Is it perfect? No. Like I said, there are a few niggling things that I'd say I'd love to improve. However, it's not a deal breaker for me. And overall, I would say this watch is very elegant, even seductive. They really have captured St. Mark's Square at night, the elegance, the celebration in Venice. And I love the engraving at the back. It all fits, very fitting, to deliver you something quite special on the wrist at a very affordable price. So they've done, once again, very well indeed. I'll leave you some highlights of the watch in natural sunlight, guys. Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.